In this video, I'm going to talk about why your teen's FND does not get better. Or maybe it gets better, but then it comes back. And you're basically on this endless roller coaster ride. Well, there's so many different reasons why your teen's FND does not get better, which is why I created this YouTube channel to begin with. However, today I want to talk about this one thing. That might be one thing that your teen is missing, which is the why. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Dr. Lee. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the teen FND specialist. I created the online coaching program for teens specifically who is struggling with FND and their parents so that they can get their life back and feel like normal again. So speaking of, I have worked with so many different teens who's got FND symptoms among others, and time again I get this one thing. What is the one thing that's missing in the teen who is not quite getting better? So this is what I want to talk about. But before that, the usual, what is FND? Once again, this is my mission. Until the FND becomes so mainstream that everybody knows what FND is, at least generally speaking, I'm going to keep doing this. So spread the words and then share this video to anyone and everyone you can think of, okay? So here we go. FND is an umbrella term to describe this cross-wired communication problem between the brain and the body, even though your teen's brain and body are structurally and physically quote-unquote A-okay. It is a real diagnosis and your teen is not making things up. It's a very, very common diagnosis you would get in a neurology clinic, even though nobody really knows about it, including you until you got the diagnosis. And it's not just one thing that is causing this condition of FND. It is a biopsychosocial phenomenon. And because I work specifically with teens, the teen FND is not the same thing quite as adult FND. So statistically speaking, adult FND, the majority of the cases are coming from either stress or some sort of trauma early on, at least statistically speaking. However, teen FND, that is not really the case. So again, you could have a stress and anxiety and trauma all you want, but in terms of the teen FND, that's like less than half of the time. Okay, so that is the difference between teen FND and adult FND. And one more thing, with teen FND, the chance of you recovering completely is really, really high, but you have to start this process as soon as possible and you have to do the right thing, okay? So let's talk about why your teen does not get better with FND. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I said this one thing that might be missing is not knowing the why. And when I say the why, it's not the why I have this FND in our first place. Well, that's also important. But in this video, what I want to talk about this why is the why they want to get better. So which is turned into this specific goal and purpose. Okay. And for starters, just to be clear, virtually all teens that I work with, they all want to have this one goal, which is they want to get rid of FND, right? Like after all, I mean, who wants to live with this condition? It's debilitating. It's not life-threatening emergency like cancer or, you're bleeding by the neck. However, it's just as debilitating and disabling if you don't do anything about it, right? So it is serious enough that you have to do something. So teens that I work with, they want to get rid of it. They want to be done, okay? That is the ultimate goal. Absolutely. And in my program, Teen FND Academy, I also talk about, well, that's great, but why? Why do you want to get better? So this is the why I'm talking about in this video. So this why is important. Let's talk about that, okay? Well, this why is everything because knowing why is going to lead to this driving force and motivation, which leads to this increased likelihood of success. And this is true regardless of FND, just about anything. As long as you're motivated about something or having this driving force and then know it's going to work and it's going to be good and it's going to be fun and all of that, then it gets easier, to do the thing that you want to do, right? And so the FND recovery journey is the same thing, right? So why wanting to get better from FND is not enough? Here's a reality. Resolving FND takes time, energy, and effort because the way your teen gets better is this: retraining the brain, which leads to the retraining the brain and the body connection, right? Then your teen can resolve FND. So again, this whole process, it's a big thing, it's a big time chore and then very choppy in the beginning. I will tell you that. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's in fact pretty simple thing to do. However, because your teen needs to retrain the brain and the body, it takes a lot of effort to manually change what has been done automatically. So that's why I always encourage the parents and the team to consider some sort of incentive to get it going, right? Most likely it is an external reward or some sort of incentive to begin with. However, if that is going to help the teen get going, I would say for the temporary basis, as long as they're safe, healthy, and parents are okay with whatever the reward that you guys set up was, I am okay with that. And eventually, the skills that teens are learning will become their habit. Then it becomes autopilot, like the new autopilot, right? So along the way, though, here's the deal. If the drive and motivations are not strong enough or clear enough, then what's going to happen? Teens are going to give up. They're going to think it's like, oh my gosh, there's just a lot of work to do. Been there, done that. I tried this slow breathing for a couple days, and I tried this sleep thing for 3 days, and it just does not work, right? And then they give up. Then guess what happens? FND becomes somebody else's problem to fix. And most likely that responsibility is on you, parents. That's why you are the one who is running like a chicken with no head and getting super frustrated. And they tell me what to do. Tell me the strategies that I can do to help my child get better. That is the wrong approach, because then it's basically saying you're the one who is fixing this problem for the child, while the child is not in the driver's seat anymore. This is one of the reasons why that I see the teens continue to struggle and parents continue to feel frustrated, and they are coaxing, encouraging, but really nagging and forcing and then making the teen to, come on, let's do this, that kind of thing. But all the while, what's happening is the parents are the one who's holding the baton instead of the teen learning to hold the baton themselves. Therefore, this creating the why. Yes, I get it. You want to get better from FND, but why? Why is so important. All right. So let's get practical here, because I like being practical. And my program, Teen FND Academy, is all about practical. So what kind of whys are out there? A lot of teens ask, I can't really think. Well, I want to get better, but why? I don't know. So I'm going to give you some examples. You don't have to follow this, but you can use them as a guide, right? So I want to get better from FND so I can go back to school like a normal teenager. Another example is I want to get better from FND because I want to live my life just like anyone else. Another example, I want to get better from FND because I want to drive like my friends. Maybe they're 16, 17, 18, I don't know. Well, I want to get better from FND so I don't have to worry about hanging out with my friends. Another example, I want to get better from FND because I want to go back to playing lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, basketball, dance, swim, track, or enjoy just knitting and crochet. Whatever it is, extracurricular activities, hobby, interest, things like that. The next example, I want to get better from FND because I have a big plan in my life. Going to college and become a nurse or a music producer or a professional dancer, and I want to become a doctor. Whatever, great. I want to get better from FND because I am so sick of living like this. Like this, meaning there's no life, basically, because the FND has been keeping this teen captive, and it's almost like a stuck in a prison, kind of thing. So these are just a few examples that I have actually heard from the teens that I work with. And they're like, well, I don't know, but I just want to be like normal. That's okay. It doesn't have to be this grandiose, giant thing with like 2 pages long essay. You know what I mean? It just doesn't have to be that. It can be just as simple as, I want to feel like normal. I am so sick of feeling like this. I am so done with this, kind of thing. I want to get my independence back. That is oftentimes the why I hear. And so those are the examples, all right? And then here are some pointers. The stronger the why is for the team, not for you, parents, but for the team, the more drive and motivation are going to be. So this becomes a North Star, even though the teens are going to struggle and have hard time and feeling like giving up. However, as long as they look up, that North Star is shining bright up their head. So they're like, oh yeah, that's right. Yep, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm just going to get back and then roll up my sleeves and then get down to the business. So I always recommend the teens write that why and then put it up on their phone or print it out and write it and put it on the wall or wherever it's so visible, because the more reminders they have, the stronger the motivation and the drive become. And if the parents are more motivated than the teen, then I can almost guarantee you that the parents, are essentially sucking the drive and the motivation out of the teen. Okay, so parents, you really need to learn to back off, even though it is so hard to let go, because at the end of the day, it is your child that you care and love and want to do anything and everything you can. I get that. It is time to pass the baton. And I talk about this in my online program, Teen FND Academy, a lot. Parents, this is the most important thing that you actually have to do throughout the course of the program, at least in the beginning, because that is so counterintuitive. It's almost like the parents are holding on to this thing like their life depends on it. However, as long as you keep holding the baton and telling that your child that you need to come because I'm right here, I'm holding this. This is the secret sauce, to get better. They're never gonna do that. They're going to be like, okay, sure, yeah, I'm going to do it for you. Again, where is the control? You have to let the baton and pass the baton to the teen. Is the teen going to drop the baton and have really get, frustrated or not knowing what to do? Oh yeah, absolutely. But how are they going to learn otherwise? If you keep picking up the baton for the child, then your child is going to assume you're going to be there forever. Then guess what? FND became your problem, the parents, instead of the team. And once again, it goes back to, this is one of the reasons why the teens don't get better from FND, or they go through this roller coaster ride, and then you're going through the roller coaster and then just exhausted and then devastated. If that is what you want, by all means, keep doing that, because nobody's stopping you, right? But if you really want to get out of that cycle, then you have to do something about it. Okay, so here is another practical thing of what to do. In my online program, Teen FND Academy, I do have this thing called the GPS worksheet. And this is what every team and then every parents actually have to do at the outset of the program. And so the GPS conveniently stands for something. The G stands for the goal, and I want this to be specific. Like beyond, I want to get better from FND. Okay, so what? So what they can do. All right, what is it that they want to get back to? So be specific, right? And then the P is for the purpose. So this is the why. Why do you want to get the thing that you want? Okay, why do you want to get better from FND and getting back to school? Why is it so important, right? Nobody can do that for the team, because teen needs to come up with on their own. And then the S is, what is the one baby step every day that you would do to challenge yourself to get that goal? So GPS becomes the beacon, North Star, whatever you want to do it, whatever you want to call it, towards the recovery of FND. But it really starts with knowing the why. Not the why, again, you're having FND, but the why you want to get better. Well, I hope this was helpful. And this is literally what I'm walking through the teens and the parents who are in my program, Teen FND Academy. And this is something that you want to do, get the specific coaching from me towards the recovery of FND. You might have a chance. So click the link below and schedule a call to talk to me and see if you qualify for the program. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.